Welcome back. We are still live with my prominent guest, Dr. Mohamed Abdel Raouf, and I stopped at a very, let's say, controversial statement. If you decide to pollute, is pollution a decision, Dr. Raouf?
Well, it's not a decision because now companies realize that if they are polluting, they will be rejected. They will face a very heavy fines. Also, consumers will not buy a product. But sometimes it's a decision due to many reasons. They don't have the financial capabilities. They don't have the technological capabilities, so decide to pollute. But that's why we put an incentive. In order to follow an environment-friendly techniques, in order to have an environment-friendly product that do not harm the environment or natural resources. And we incentivize them to follow environmental stewardship in order to have these environment-friendly products. And by this, they have a very good reputation. They will be able to sell their products. They will be able to export their products. Now you cannot export to any other countries around the globe almost if you have a very polluting product. Not only the product itself, but they now follow even the production process from the very early till the very end. Like I said, if you are polluting, you will have a very heavy fines for a very dangerous polluting.
And what you're talking about is something which is implemented globally.
Exactly. Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
And by the way, of course, I had the honor to have you via phone in an interview regarding the same issue, and I was asking you about corporate social responsibility. If this was the base which we built on, if you want to elaborate on that.
Yes, and that's why now many companies, by law globally, they are required to have their corporate social responsibility report. Yes, and this report show all the activities, production, methods, different costs, and even the social part. It has environmental and social part, because you don't have, you must not employ children and so on. So women's rights and so on. So these corporate social responsibility reports are required by the global community. You cannot export to EU, for instance, even simple products unless you show that you are following environment friendly.
And sometimes this report is titled Sustainability Report.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
It has sustainability, includes the economic, environmental, and social aspects. It's similar to corporate social responsibility report. Different titles, but it's almost the essence is the same.
Because sustainability is one of the key words we should focus on, because this is going to lead me to the coming question: what is meant by energy transformation?
Yes, we were speaking at the early about climate change, because climate change is a global negative externalities, and these emissions harm countries and companies. We face extreme weathers, floods and hurricanes and so on. So now, yes, this is the dark side, but also from the positive side, we have an economic opportunity if we follow an environmental friendly production. Then we transfer the threat to an opportunity. And that's why we see every year the climate COPs, climate conference of parties, UNFCCC conferences, which is the biggest environmental, maybe the biggest conferences globally. Yes. And it's all countries or companies go there, even polluting ones, because they show their interest in environment-friendly production and products, techniques and technologies, including renewable energy, because now world has shifted from wood to coal, from coal to oil, and now it's because of scarcity. But now, because of environmental concerns, you have to diversify your economy. It will open door for export. It will open door for more employment. And Egypt, like you said, is one of the pioneer countries. By the way, Egypt, according to the Climate Performance Index, is ranked second in the Arab world and 20 globally. Egypt is playing a very big role in African climate negotiation in climate COPs. Egypt hosted COP 27 in Sharm el-Sheikh. We have a number of big...
Even COP27 itself was titled the Africa Cup, because Egypt shouldered this responsibility to defend Africa. Unfortunately, our black continent is paying the price of what the West did long ago. But sir, let's talk on behalf of the layman in the street. is it possible? I mean, one day, are we going to witness this day where we are going to see the whole world depending on renewable energy resources and to forget all about the fossil fuel and all what's really considered as the main cause of global warming and of what's going on worldwide?
Well, practically, yes, we will witness it. But this doesn't mean that fossil fuel will end. We will have an energy buy that the majority of it will be from renewable sources, whether green hydrogen, whether renewable solar energy or wind energy, and many other forms, including fossil fuels. But this will need some time because the technology is developing and also the cost is decreasing. So maybe in 20 years, I may say in 20 years maximum, we will have the majority of electricity coming from renewable energy sources. And Egypt also is doing very well in energy transformation. We have a very ambitious plan according to Vision 2030. Now we have said that 42% of electricity should come from renewable sources by 2030. We have a very ambitious projects for solar.
This is exactly what was said by Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli in his press conference yesterday as he toured El Ain Al-Sukhna and he visited a number of factories and he met with many businessmen, I mean direct face-to-face to eliminate all the obstacles on the way and also witnessed the signing of deals in this domain in specific.
Yes, exactly.
How do you see this, sir?
Yeah, this is very important because we are speaking about private sector. Private sector is the main driver, and private sector is the main innovation also because they have the incentive in order to produce and sell and make profits. Of course, governments put plans and strategies and monitor, but this is very important, and we have a number of very active and important projects in Red Sea, like Za'farana, Jabal Zayt, wind energy projects, and also solar energy, Bimban in Aswan, which is a new high dam. And by the way, those create a very high number of jobs, whether temporarily or permanently. It's expected that we have around 20 million jobs by 2050 for renewable energy sources.
The number again, sir, 20 million?
Yes.
Million?
Yes, 20 million jobs in various clean energy projects and clean industries by 2050.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
By the way, 2050 is not that far.
It's not that far, yeah.
I mean, when we talk about 2 or 3 decades, it's nothing in the history of a nation like us.
Exactly.
But sir, since we are speaking about the mega projects in this domain and the tour of the Prime Minister and the press conference which took place yesterday, he said also that localizing the industry of renewable energy is also part and parcel of the priorities of the state right now. Yes. How do you see this word, localizing renewable energy industries?
Yes, this is very important because we need to be a pioneer in this technology. And I think the good news that Egypt is now producing for the photovoltaic cells, producing around 90% of its component locally. So owing the technology locally is very important. We don't need to be dependent on West or other countries in these technologies. Localizing these different types of, whether in electric cars, renewable energy, wind energy, green hydrogen, and many other clean and green
hydrogen.
Hydrogen, yes. These are very important to have the technology locally, and this will. But you need to have qualified.
This was my coming question. What are the most important challenges facing us in this domain to reach this position?
Yes, there are a number of traditions here. We have the funding. Funding is a big obstacle because the infrastructure, let's say, is built on polluting energy. So you need to transfer the infrastructure into an infrastructure that allow and expand clean technologies, whether in energy or any other sector, transportation, manufacture, cement, and so on. And also technology. Technology is very important. You need to own the technology. And that's why in climate change conferences, technology transfer is a big fight between South and North. You need to own the technology, and if you own the technology and the skilled labor, you will be able to export these expertise to African countries and Arab countries. It will open many other doors So hopefully we can be able to overcome these obstacles.
And also using our strategic partnerships with other sides. I mean, only 2 days ago, President Abdel al-Sisi received Kaya Kallas of the EU head of policies in the European Union, and to continue with the strategic partnership with the EU only as an example. And I do remember well, in one of the summits, the president was speaking about renewable energy, and he spoke, for example, if you want to have the wind energy, here, build a factory for the turbines. If you want a solar energy, build here a factory for the solar panels. How do you see this kind of strategic partnership, and how it's going to be a win-win situation for both sides?
This is very important, because we are speaking about technological obstacle, funding obstacle. Partnership will solve these obstacles. So if you do a partnership with the West or China, or these countries that have all the technology and they have the funding, it's a win-win situation. They will have here a project in a very good climate that are suitable for these type of technologies, cheap labor relatively compared to their countries. We will be able to transfer the knowledge and technology to the local people. We have a local skill. So partnership is one important
solution.
Yes, and it's maybe the most important solution, and we need to do this. You cannot do things so. It's like the world is one village. You will have to diversify your partnership with the West and South, and this is the only way in order to overcome these type of obstacles that are facing Egypt now.
Yeah. Sir, also, how do you see just going or having tangible steps in many tracks at a time? I mean, we're talking about our strategic partnership with the EU, and we spoke about solar and wind energy, for example, and in the same time, we are very much focusing on our nuclear plant in El Dab'a with our cooperation with Russia, and our excavations regarding the natural gas. I mean, how do you see going through all these routes all together?
No, it's very important, because you don't put all your eggs in one basket. So you need to diversify, especially in energy. Energy security is very important, and you don't have no foreign company will come to invest in Egypt unless there is an energy security. It's a prerequisite for any investment. So you need to diversify and invest in traditional energy sources, renewable energy sources, and nuclear energy sources. And this will open doors for many other industries that
Give me your priorities. Where to start?
My priority as an environmental economist,
yes?
I need to have environment first. Because if the environment is clean, natural resources are protected, you guarantee that the natural assets that you are having in your country are well protected and can serve current and future generations. We can have a very good project, but the pollution can damage the resources. It will
I mean, sir, Egypt is more prepared to attract more investors in what field of renewable energy? Wind, solar, green hydrogen, nuclear even? If you want to prioritize, if this is possible.
All are possible, but in terms of categorizing, prioritizing, solar energy would be first. because of the climatic and position on the map. We have one of the best solar radiation all over the year, and around 12 hours per day in many days of the year, and many locations also, and desert. So many options that favor solar energy. In some locations in the Red Sea, the wind energy is favored.
Wadi Jadid, the new valley.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know if you, would you please correct me if I'm wrong? I read some statistics saying that the new valley alone can feed the world or Europe with energy only from the wind energy. Is that true?
Yes, that's true. If you have a very large scale project, you have a very flat desert, and wind speed is okay. Like I said, in some areas the wind speed is okay, that wind energy project is favored. But also, like I said, you need to diversify your energy resources, because sometimes it's not stable. You know, wind is not stable, maybe. So you need to be in a cautious.
And this is the role of technology, the state-of-the-art technology. Exactly. Yeah. But sir, I think also we need to change our culture. I mean, it's not an easy job to just transfer from the fossil fuels to the new sources of renewable energy. How do you see also raising awareness regarding this issue is also part and parcel of the whole story?
Yes, exactly. You cannot achieve your goals in energy diversification and the climate change combating unless you have a very conscious community. So you have a policy that banalize pollution, incentivize environmental friendly actions, and also incentivize and educate communities. Because communities play an important role. If they are convinced, if they are aware of the benefits, personal benefits before macro benefit on the economy. Because if you apply, for instance, LED lighting or clean appliances in your own home, you will save on electricity and water costs. So you need to have a policy mix that you have penalties, you have a regulation, incentives, and also awareness and education, which is a continuous process, because things are changing, so you need to educate about the new things and how to deal and how to choose and how to be conscious about environment friendly products. If you decide to buy an environment friendly products by consumers only without any, you will force other factories, the polluting one, to produce an environment friendly products, because those are the ones that the consumer prefer.
Well, sir, it's a very important topic, and we hope that tomorrow is going to be a better day, witnessing more achievements in this regard. And as we said in our intro, Egypt is always a pioneer, and the climate change issue is also one of the topics of the files where Egypt was very keen to focus on and to be one of the pioneers in its handling, if I may call it this way. Dr. Raouf, thank you very much for your input, sir. I really enjoyed our discussion, and I'm going to leave you, sir, with a promise to see you again in more episodes of our program.
Inshallah.
Right after the short break, we are going to return back with more, so stay tuned.